Chart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If the camera's shaking a little bit, it's because I'm hand holding it today, not on a tripod. So today let's talk about my mystery fish. What are my mystery fish? The ones I don't talk about too much and I haven't shown you too often. So let's go ahead and take a look at them, and then you tell me what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get right to it. For a variety of reasons, these fish don't get a lot of camera time. In some cases, I'm just waiting for them to color up so I can share them with you when they've taken on some color. But this right here is what I think is a sulphur head that I picked up at a local fish store for just a few bucks. And for a while there, the nice yellow blaze had disappeared, and I was wondering whether maybe I had picked up a juiced fish. But all of a sudden, he's starting to show some blues and purples, some red around the face, nice blue in the gills, beautiful egg spots, and his blaze is coming back nice and strong. I also have in here a couple F1 Malawi Gars. These things grow pretty slow. They get pretty big. You can see here in the photo, they can demonstrate they can show some beautiful color, especially if they're fired up. And I'm really looking forward to these little guys putting on some size and color. They were provided to me by James Largo over at the Cichlid Shack. I have two in here. I also have a couple long nose that are in another tank putting on a little more size before they can come into this tank. Also some F1s. So high hopes for these guys. I love Malawi Gars, but I've had a little bad luck with them in the past. Mostly because I've picked up several of them and they've turned out to be females. I also have in here a Lethrinops that isn't, of course, as popular as my red cap, but he's starting to put on some very, very beautiful color. You can see some of the tones in the body. He's trying to pick up some of that purple and pink, and he is a Lethrinops. He's got a couple females in there with him. And you can see them here, the way they look when they're fully fired up. Lethrinops albus. Again, very high hopes. Haven't shared them much because I've been waiting for them to start to show some color, unlike the red cap that showed color immediately. I also have a Phrosochromos, a rostratus in here, a sand diver. If you've ever seen them dive in the sand and leave one eye sticking out, you'll understand the name. They become spectacular. I've, again, had a little bit of bad luck with them. I've had a couple that I've spent a lot of time on and turned out to be females. I've got my fingers crossed on this one here. Of course, the star of the tank there is the red cap. Gets all the attention. I also have a couple Nibochromis livingstoni in here. 3 of them, actually, that I picked up at a local fish store, hoping to get one male out of the batch and eventually be able to move that male over to the 150. As soon as they become too aggressive in here, they'll go to the 100, and then eventually they'll transition from the 100 over to the 150. They're very, very, very pretty. I love the markings on them. They're very active, very good eaters, very aggressive. Also have a red shoulder in there. You can see also a pickup from a local fish store. You can see the beautiful colors they're developing on that guy. But he is not one of my secret fish, like my Lethrinops albus. I also have an OB in here that doesn't seem to get a lot of camera time, mostly because he's very, very shy. And as you can see here, trying to film him, he hangs out near the back. I also think he gets harassed a little bit by a couple of the fish, including the Sulphur Head. And there he is again behind one of the rocks, making me having to work for the shot. Very cute fish. When I first picked him up, he had a little bit more red in him. The red is starting to fade and give way to more black. But I have high hopes for him. As they get older, they usually will put on some blue in the lips and face around the gills. And so, you know, we'll see. We'll see how he develops. I like having an OB in the tank. I think they add a lot of variety. And I know there are some purists out there who hate OBs of any kind. I tend to like them. I like the, especially if you can pick up red, yellows, blues. I mean, some of them are just simply spectacular. I picked this one up at a local fish store for almost nothing. So I'll give him a little time, see how he develops, and hopefully he won't hide from me all the time. Let's go over to the 100. And in here I have what is sometimes referred to as a turquoise hap. Very active fish. Can be a little bit aggressive. It's a protomelis, so you do need to include some greens in the diet. I give these fish occasionally some spirulina. You can see here the marginatus. Beautiful fish when they get older and mature. And I'm hoping I've got a male in here. I have two of them in here. And I'm starting to see a little bit of green in the body. And fingers crossed that one of those two are a male. I also have 3 Buccochromis notitanias in here. One of my favorite fish. Here's one that's pretty fired up. Photos that I steal from the internet. But you can see here I have 3 of them in here, and they're growing very, very slowly. And again, you know, fingers crossed that one of them turns out to be a male. And again, don't give them a lot of camera time. Doesn't mean I don't love them any less. I just they're just not really in display mode yet. I also have a flametail Maduka orange. Flametails, of course, are notorious for taking a very long time to color up, and this one has been no exception. High hopes for that guy. We'll see how he turns out. I also have in here an Autopharynx. And this one here, you see the picture from Ad Konings, taken from the companion Cichlid Room Companion. If you're not familiar with that, you have to go to the American Cichlid Association. Take a look at the Cichlid Room Companion, which is part of your membership. You get access to that. But this is a fish that can get some good size, 7 inches or more, and he is rather shy and hangs out near the back of the tank, and but is starting to show some very, very nice markings, as you can see here. Very nice trim on the dorsal, and also very interesting markings on the anal fin. Not your usual egg spots, but more like streaks. A first cousin to the Autopharynx tetrastigma that I have in my 150. I also have what you would normally call an electric blue, a very young electric blue that is starting to show some of that blue coloration. At first I thought I had picked up something different, but I've compared them to juvenile pictures on the internet of electric blues, and they do tend to look this way, including the spots, you know, on the anal fin. And but he is starting to show some blue in the body and the lips. And if you take a look at some of my older videos, you'll see I had a very nice electric blue for a long time. So I've got really some high hopes for this guy. So those are my mystery fish. Over the next year or two, you're going to see those fish color up and turn into something real special. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share your thoughts below. Did you have one that was your favorite? Let me know. Am I missing a fish? Let me know as well. Thank you so much. You are appreciated. And don't forget to rate, hit that bell so you get notifications. And that's it for me. Thank you so much.